Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number 385.
Damn.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter, happy egg hunting. Hope we found them all. Didn't break any. I don't know why we're hunting for eggs on Easter, but apparently makes sense.
I don't know. South Park did a whole thing on it. How actually the first pope was a bunny, and that's why the pope's hat is like that.
Oh boy. So
I don't
yeah.
actually know where the whole bunny thing and eggs come from, but if you
Neither do I.
know, let us know in the chat.
Yeah, let us know because I never really paid attention to studying this.
We're very gullible, so if you have a good story, let us know.
So
Let's do some shilling.
let's do some shilling.
If you want a cover or something like that, go to our friends over at Skinny Play. Link is in the description, but no, also in the chat. Use the promo code for 10% off, which is nice. We have the same deal going with Tigrino Studio. And they, amongst other things, have the aluminium covers for your 28s, your theater. More now, right? Yeah. Oh, and 8s. I forgot those. How could I forget? There. But yeah, good stuff. I personally like these covers more than the B&O covers, but it kind of needs to fit in your atmosphere. So there's that. In terms of design and product, like, holy shit, it's well made.
I agree. I've seen them firsthand at your place. I really like them. I'm still a wood guy, but not that I would never change. Some point I might.
Yeah. And then we have Steve. He is on Easter break for a little bit, but go buy some cables. soundsheavenly.com. Yeah, if you're in Europe or elsewhere other than North America, I guess, with import tariffs. And
SOL.
yeah. And we have buymeacoffee.com/BeoWilly, which is our essentially our super chats for the foreseeable future, because they don't take nearly as big as a cut as YouTube does. And if you have any questions that you need answers to within legality, we will do so if you post them there. Yeah.
There's one more. Happy birthday, Mom. If you're watching, I'm sure she's watching. Yeah.
Happy birthday, William's mom.
It's literally today is her birthday, April 5th. I don't think we've ever come across. I think once we've had podcast that it fell on April 5th. I don't remember. But yeah. So yeah. I'll still call, but happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, you better damn call.
That's right. This way everybody knows too. Or more than she would have ever told.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the age because that's rude, but that's the day today that marks it.
She's like 35, right?
Yeah. It's been there for years like that. Stuck in that time. So, yeah.
I mean, she had you very young, right?
She did have me very young. No, that's beyond. That's I guess besides the bullshit and fun, yeah, she had me very young. But then again, I guess that was a custom back in the day, right? Girls get married at 18, 19 years old and have kids right away. And the guys usually get married at their 20s because there was 2 years of mandatory military service. Right when you turn 18, you fucking go.
Yeah. I mean, we just pretend you're 40-something, right? In reality, you're more like 20.
Oh, yeah. I just dye my hair gray. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. Yeah. And I always pretend my back hurts.
Yeah, I do that too.
It's hard to pretend nowadays, though, eh? When it really hurts.
Yeah. You sort of get used to it, I guess, which is not a great thing, but
Yeah, for me, it's just when there's a couple times. Oh, usually with B&O back in the day, it was with lifting 90s or 50s or whatever, lugging that kind of shit. Now it's more like when we're putting racks together, these huge watt box UPS battery power supplies. Fuck, these are heavy, man.
Especially if
These
you
are
have the
very
older
heavy.
ones where they're still lead acid, right?
Yeah, no, no, no. These are all brand new, but man, they are heavier than sin
I
to
mean, I
move
saw
around.
a few at Costco the other day, and they were still lead acid, and it was like,
Holy shit!
well, it's for ultimate reliability, right? Because lead acid,
Yeah,
at best or at worst, you add some like demineralized water to it,
that's right.
but they're
I
also
remember that in our
heavier shit.
Skoda. I remember that in our Skoda. Dad used to
Yeah.
pour in a little bit of distilled water into the battery when it wasn't
Yeah, how
working.
far we've come.
I don't know why, but lately, for some reason, there's this weird algorithm going on with YouTube on me that it's showing me old documentaries from the commie country, like from Czech Republic, like how this is how we've built it. And I started watching it. It's fucking hilarious, but I don't understand where it's coming from. I don't
Maybe it
understand.
overheard you speak to, I don't know, your dad.
I guess everything's listening to you nowadays, for God's
Yeah,
sakes.
maybe it was sort of like, you must love this place. Let's show it.
Boom, there you
Like,
go.
let's make you nostalgic.
Yeah, but out of all the things that are listening to me, the only thing that's not listening to is Beosound 1. I still cannot get that fucking title back on it.
Weird.
It's so weird. But
So,
in
I
the
mean,
app,
you reset it and everything, obviously, but it just doesn't function.
I had reset it. Where is this? I don't even think I have it on this laptop. Oh, no, I have it on my laptop. I've reset it, and then remember the software version of the ASC that you sent me when B&O sent it to you years ago, that you had some sort of a fucked up issue, and it's basically the initial
Yeah.
1.6 or 1.9 software version of the ASC platform.
Yeah, that's a recovery method for when it's been dead for so long that it kind of loses its onboard.
Serial number.
Yeah.
So I've installed that, reboot it, then it obviously comes with the software update, right?
Yeah.
So I have actually two versions. I think I have 1.6 and 1.9 version of that software. So then I've installed again from file location into the Beosound 2. I put that software, and then I've reset it again or reboot it, right? Then I put it in the app finally, and then it says the title. Well, I've updated the software again to the latest, I guess now, and then it comes now. Title is available. Blah blah blah. Right.
Yes.
So if I can go to title, it just does that much of it as far as the song is concerned, and then couldn't add the playlist afterwards at all. It's done.
Huh.
But on the app, like let's say in the Avant, right? You can see the linked sources because I have the Beosound 2 linked into the Beosound or Beovision Avant 55 in my bedroom. So you can see the sources, and it requests the title source, which is a CD command that's covered via Beo4, right? Because I still have the Beo time in that room. So Beo CD, you can turn on the title, and it just says could not connect. Like it's just connecting, and circling the drain, and that's that, and that's that. Beo radio works no problem.
And Deezer
So
probably also works fine.
and Deezer works fine, but I am like absolutely out of my. I'm at the end of my wits. So like, where the fuck is the problem with this thing? We keep looking there because that's where it's sitting. And
Yeah, these sorts of reasons are why partially I'm sticking with Deezer still, because I have some older stuff like M3s and whatnot, right? And
mhm,
yeah, okay, sure, it works. Uh, it was made for Deezer.
yes,
it wasn't something that was made after the fact, like 2 years after everything was EOL, and we better hope for the best. And good luck, everybody.
I'm honestly thinking like I just don't want to do it. I'll probably do it in Florida because I'm not digging up and taking apart the entire shape box because I have two of them, obviously. And I don't remember which one. Well, I don't remember. It's a bullshit excuse. I do have it labeled so I could find which box has a BeoConnect core because I got the old one, right?
Mm.
Or Beosound core, I guess I should call it
Yeah.
that way. So old Beosound core and see if I can juice it into it and go from there because I don't see myself using the core with a new connect core. I mean, shape with a new connect core, quite honestly, when I move. I think that what will happen is that the shape speakers will become either surround heights, which is most definitely what I think is going to happen, or they're going to become ceiling heights. Depends on the arrangement. If it's going to be a house or an apartment that I live in, right? And if it's a concrete, then I'm fucked. It's just going to be surround back.
Well, even if they're on the ceiling, right? Surround height is the
It's very close to what it needs to be doing.
yeah. It's also probably the best position to have something in for the true image. Because it weirdly, it's the alternate position that does the most is surround heights.
I don't have an experience with it because I haven't really lived with the surround heights. I never had an opportunity or place to put them in, right? And quite honestly, well, I don't think they were as important with the Avant's true image as they are important now with the Dolby Atmos and true image. So,
oh, for sure.
Now I would consider that like for real. But anyways, back full circle to this unsolvable fucking title problem that I have. So then, given I'm lucky, right, and I update the software on the Beosound core successfully, I'm just gonna throw it if it fits into the back of the TV and leave it there as a secondary source. I don't really have to throw it into the back of the TV. What the fuck am I talking about? Just link it somewhere, but leave it, put in a B&O cabinet and just let that not even have anything paired to it as far as what's it called? As far as the speakers are, yeah, no speakers, nothing, man. It's just you are a AV source or audio source for my Avant in the bedroom. Now that being said,
that's sort of initially how I used my Moment, right? It was just always on, and you could just join whatever to it. Like all you ever had to do is press join. It was just rotating all the time.
It's not a bad idea, actually. It's not a bad idea. It just doesn't have title for me now, so I'm fucked. But there is a difference in sound quality now after listening to a couple of my tracks over and over versus Deezer. There is way more finesse in the sound quality when it comes to title. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, you've seen the way I listen to stuff, right? Half the time I'm sitting literally outside and I can only see
you're never gonna know the difference. You're never gonna know the difference. I pay attention to it a little more, so I guess that's my poison. But yeah, I am still baffled by this. How I might talk to the boys in Quebec and see if one of them can pipe in through the product health.
Yeah.
And see if they can, I don't know, pull some knobs or turn some knobs and pull some strings from their side, because I just don't see how the fuck it's not doing. And it was working perfectly when the title was first rolled out with the update. I tried it, right, because I took a trial for a month, worked perfectly. I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'll fuck the title, because I still at the time, I was rocking the EXs. So those don't play through the app, right? And blah, blah, blah. Had no need for it. But now that need is here, and I can't get the bloody title back on the fucking Beosound 2 or Beosound 1. So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Factory reset it again. See if that helps anything.
Yeah, but dude, that's like, throwing a fishing reel into a fucking bucket of water and hoping to catch a trout, right? Like we've done it already a couple times, and nothing's coming out of it. So
Well, you know how B&O is with their factory resets, right? They don't fully factory reset all the time.
I did the 3 times in a row too. Fuck. I even
Yeah.
put it to battery storage mode. Like I don't even know. I don't know what else to do other than like, I think Brad's smoking crack, but it's like just take it apart and take out the battery, or disconnect the battery and disconnect the whatever the CMOS battery that is in there as well, right? Do I really want to do that? I just don't want to fuck with the seals, right? Those O-rings that are there. I don't
Yeah.
know if you ever had a chance to see it being taken apart, but it's not fun. So, but it's got to be inside the software. There's nothing physically or mechanically that would prevent that uh, title from playing. That's just what I think.
It's Lucas HD. If you change your Avant 55 first gen
For a theater,
for
you're gonna
yeah,
miss the
well
blinds.
he said for a premiere later on, you
Hmm.
will lose the 17s and S8. If you go for another theater, that's fine, but the premiere won't do that.
Yeah.
It's only DPL speakers. Unless you want to make your main room awesome, right? And just move everything from your Avant 55 to the living room.
See, and that's another idea that I'm toying around. And once I get to Florida, is it worth for me to hang a 56 kilo TV from 2012 on the fucking wall, or just buy myself a Featherlight G5 or 6, whatever panel it is nowadays, right? And throw a Premiere underneath it.
Do you have
Underneath.
two emerges?
Yeah.
Use those with a Premiere.
That's a very good point. Yeah, because I have oak and black. I can turn the other one to oak or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, STB even has wall brackets for them if you really want them
I
to
wouldn't need
hang.
that. I would just put them on the nightstands.
Yeah. I mean, you get all the modern codec handling out of it. It's probably easier. At some point, if you really wanted to, right, you can get 8s or balances or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't dislike the Avant. Don't get me wrong, right? But like,
It's the last real B&O TV, right?
yeah,
That's the end of the era. After that was the Avant no good, or whatever they call it, next generation. But that NG was no good, man. That's what that really stood for. And then they came out with the Eclipse, and that was the birth of the LG's relationships, and ever since then, right? So if I keep it, I think that I'll have Kareem order me the packaging for it, because you can still order the original packaging for the Avant,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna box it up and fucking whenever there's gonna be a place for it at some point, I'll pull it out. They don't go bad. It's not a produce, so
Yeah, maybe by
and
the
it's the
time you
same.
actually get to like buying a house, it makes more sense, right?
I wouldn't even give a shit to put it in the garage, because they probably would spend a lot of time in garage.
I mean, like here, right?
Or in your case scenario, I'd probably throw it on the fucking deck, dude.
Yeah.
Just put it out. Fuck it, man. If it dies, it dies, Collis. Who cares? But
I mean,
I have a TV outside.
yeah. I mean, I never ever expected to spend this much time outside.
But why wouldn't you if it's nice out? Fuck.
Well, I mean, I always knew it was nice out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was part of the point of moving here. Like, it's nicer and it's not so fucking depressing.
We'll be cooped up, man. It was raining yesterday, and it's not
Yeah.
like a Florida rain. Like this sucks here. So
But it's to the point where, like, initially when we lived here, it's sort of like, oh, let's make the living room awesome. And then the living room was awesome. And then it's sort of like, oh, it's nice out. Let's go sit outside. And then before you know it, right, you spend most of your days outside, even when you're just chilling, is
the
because it's
living
so
room's for
nice. It's
cats. Yeah,
like,
that's
well, the
funny.
living room, like, we use it, I don't know, after dinner, maybe,
Hmm.
if that, right?
Well, I think Megan put a lot more miles on the sofa than you with her movies and the Netflixes, right? Like,
Yeah.
but other than that, yeah, we fucking sat there for what, one movie that we watched together in the living room. The rest was
Yeah.
always outside.
Yeah. And we ate in a few times.
Yeah, and that's it. So no, I would probably throw something like that, or maybe even like the V1, because like I have the Wi-Fi antenna built inside it, right? I can just have one with just a power cord, because I have a Roku 1080p player. You don't need a 4K inside, and it's powered off of the internal USB, so it's a smart TV basically to be able to carry it around. Kind of wish I had that Habana edition now, so I can roll that fucker.
I mean, in the last, what is it, month or so, right? I think we ate inside twice. We've been eating outside because it's just perfect weather. It doesn't even fucking rain. Everybody complained about Florida. Oh, it's so wet. No, we're in a fucking drought still.
Yeah, it didn't
So,
rain once or twice when I was there.
yeah, well, in winter it never rains, but it still really hasn't rained since you left.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been eating outside so much that I'm sort of contemplating, like, I can buy a Premiere, right? Which is fine, and it's nice, and I could put that in the bedroom or something.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can spend money only once, shouldn't I get like an A9 and just put that outside?
I would get something not that has a goddamn baseboard in it, unless you put a screen on that baseboard, because you're gonna have shit crawling in that thing left, right, and center.
Yeah, well,
That's my only concern.
well, it will be in a lanai, right? So there's not that many creepy crawlies up the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
I guess there was no real bugs coming through, anyways.
no, there's the occasional one that comes through the door when you go in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like hundreds of bugs. You're not doing this at night with lights on or anything.
No.
But if really need be, I still have some patches of that screening from the lanai, which I can always put over it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that sort of stuff has been going through my mind. I just really like the stage and how it is with that walnut cover. And then it's like, do I spend a bunch of money on the Premiere, right? Like, it will probably sound better in the bedroom, but okay. Do I actually use the bedroom? Not really.
For me, I do use the TV in the bedroom, but mostly for the radio's sake when I go to bed, which is part of the macro from the gateway that triggers it, or BLI. But inadvertently, it's triggered by the Beo time in the morning, which I guess I could still do with the Essence and a link eye that I would hide somewhere in the room, or hide the link eye in a whatever. And then I have a possibility to do something with it, as far as, like, at least the morning and evening macro, whatever, through the light commands. But then it kind of shaves off the utility of the whole Beo time, where you could change tracks on the radio, and you could increase volume, decrease volume, because there's no way to program it that it controls both. But I guess I could do it nowadays with the BLI, with grouping the products together.
One would think.
I think that might work. So that's something that I'll probably play with later on in life. But yeah, that's where it hinges on, I guess, on the I guess TV in the bedroom. But then maybe I'll just go to my old school self and don't even put a TV in the bedroom because I don't really use it for the TV as a TV, right? Like I'm fucking going to bed. I don't need to sit there with my eyes open trying to whatever. I just listen to radio. So I might just put that in. I don't know. I'm still here, so I'm not. I'm not too concerned over it. But I'll be concerned over it once I have to take that fucking TV off the wall and pack it, because there ain't no fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a hard one, right? Like I do love an Avant. It is a fantastic TV, but it's old and it's heavy. Old doesn't necessarily make
it doesn't mean shit,
but do you want to lug it around? It's not like you're moving across the street or something, right? It's
no. But there's no selling it. Like that's just I'm dumping it to recycling. Like what am I going to sell it to who, right?
I would hazard a guess you have an easier time selling it around here.
I'll take it with me regardless. I have a spare display. I have spare fucking boards for it. The only thing I don't have is the spare speaker, the center. But right, I don't have that. Don't care for that. I could fix that if there's need to be. But you can't fix a display. You can't fix a video board really on your on at least on my bench, not with these eyes. Fuck. And I've been toying around with fans, and I found a blower fan here in Addison that is a 12-volt fan that works off of 5 volts on the USB. But I never had a chance to do it with. I did it with that fan. I hooked it up on the Shelly, and it worked. And you can regulate the speed. And you could also program to when the fuck it turns on, because there is a thermostat inside or a thermistor inside the Shelly, so it knows what temperature internally it has. So you can program it, and every time that box goes, let's say, over 55 degrees, which is outside of the where it is, it can turn on the fan full instead of just halfway.
Yeah, if you don't run your AC all the time, that's in Miami, that's most of the year. You might as well just turn it on.
No, but the thing is that you can have it on all the time at, let's say, half the rate of RPM, so it's inaudible to you. Yeah. But when you turn on the TV and you get some sound there, you're not really going to hear the fucking thing anyways, right? So that's when you juice it, and that's where also it's the most hottest because the pictures being worked on or being shown. So yeah. I've got my inquiry answered from the mothership regarding to making a polished halo.
Yeah.
With walnut. So yeah, it's about 40% more on the retail, which is not surprising. I counted with that. But the way they fucking worded it, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get the polished ring or I'm just going to get the regular ring and I'm going to pay 40% premium on a walnut cover. So I asked the ring, like, can you please clarify that it's diamond polished aluminum finish with walnut cover?
Yeah.
Because natural aluminum doesn't tell me shit other than it's going to be silver. So, and I don't remember, I told him, like, just look at the samples of the whatever you got in that Atelier boutique table, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be a fucking reference number for each of those samples. Like, this is the finish that I want, right? So there's no confusion. So
yeah, it's gonna be annoying if you pay $400 and all that's different more, right? And all that's different is you have a little walnut front.
And it's on with my luck, it's gonna be like the part of the grain that I hate, right? To look at.
Yeah.
Like, so I am gonna do that. I think I'm gonna pull the trigger, but then it's like, what is it? 6 months basically, however many weeks that is. 24 weeks.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna fucking be here in 24 weeks, I don't think.
Yeah.
So do I
It
wait?
just gets sent to the shop, right? And they can send it to you wherever you are.
Yeah, I guess you can send it back. You can send it after.
I mean, surely, like at that point, that I don't know, $100 shipping cost is not the point anymore. Like,
I'll have Richard fucking drop it off for me. Shit. So there's now 5 pairs that are related to the party when it comes to the 90s.
I mean, I must say, 3 out of 5 are really rather nice.
Yes.
Like the Titan is really nice. I really like this black one, and this walnut one, pretty great too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like that walnut. Those beads, I'm not sure about, honestly, but I love the finish on this. This looks more or less like a Wi-Fi icon than resemblance of sound, right? But I really like the finish on them.
I'm just a sucker for that book matching.
Yes.
I mean, come on. I want all my wood to look sort of...
Yeah, mine are not. Mine are just straight down grain on these. Yeah, that's fucking sexy, bro. Because mine...
Yeah, there's just straight. They
Mine
just cut a triangle out of a sheet.
Straight boring, yeah. But that's smoked oak, by the way. That's not walnut. But this was the closest you could get.
Looks very light for smoked oak.
But if you go compare it to the theater, see, like it's not really that much off. It is darker on the theater, but depends on what fucking lamella you put it close to.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm lamenting now. Do I pull the trigger on the bloody halo for the bedroom to just look cool? Or do I finally commit to buying walnut lamellas? That would also just look cool. So there's 2 cool things I want to buy, or I'm gonna buy them both.
How about you buy the halo for now, and as soon as all your visas in, as a gift to yourself, you buy the walnut.
That, or I'm gonna try to see if the next person that buys a set of 90s from me when I work with Bob, see if I can have them order the walnuts, and I'll trade them for oak if they want oak, because I have a really nice set of oak lamellae, because back then they had problems with these pegs. Well, they had problem with the shipping, so the pegs got all fucked up on some of the triangles that I got. But I have like some of the nicest grain of those in oak. This is weird, hey, that they just put a slat of a light as status, but I guess carving Bang & Olufsen into that little piece of wood would be
too many failures, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, they probably tried it and it was like, no, okay, this is...
Yeah.
If a rejection rate is like 90%, right? Oh, shit.
There's no point. But it is cool. Is it walnut or is it Santos Palisander? Because that looks to me like rosewood almost.
I'm pretty sure they said walnut. But I could be wrong.
They're 410,000 pounds in UK?
Yeah, they're 500 grand USD.
That's a lot to pay for wood, man.
Yeah, but the Titan is about that. The Titan is like 440 or something like that. Yeah, 450.
Mm-hmm. They're fucking gorgeous though, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for 90s, right? The pricing is idiotic and has been for a long time.
Now, yeah.
I'm sort of not bothered by it. But somehow I am. It's like it's especially these special editions, right? They said they were going to make only 5 pair of each,
Hmm.
and that's partially a reasoning for the price. Now, I wouldn't stake my life on
Just
their
5.
claim that it's only 5 of each, but
Mm.
because I'm pretty sure if 10 people come and say, "Give me this wood one," they'll just make 10 of them.
100% they would. I think they'd be
Yeah,
silly if they didn't.
because
No, it's a very nicely finished speaker, man. Like it's unbelievable.
I mean, the attention to detail is crazy.
Hmm. Yeah, I like how the wood just does this weird thing that it comes into the point, right? But then it
Yeah,
gets thicker when it comes to the bottom point of the speaker. Very, very cool.
yeah. This is not easy to make.
Oh fuck no, man! I wonder how they even attached all of this together. There, it still has to have that same framework. But that centerpiece really intrigues me how they had attached it because it comes on these little plastic things that they screw
Yeah,
in.
I think we get a
Very
better
cool.
view in a bit with how they did the sort of beady uh, ball one, pearls or whatever it's
Hmm.
called. Is it the Monarch? I think they call it.
Oh, that's what I was wondering. Yes, it does have the wood ring. Okay, looks sick.
I mean,
That is proper awesome.
at least with this one, it's visually very obvious where all the extra money went.
Hmm.
With the Titan, it's a bit less so.
Yeah, I
But
guess it's on the bezels of the speakers, right? Where the money
yeah,
is at.
and you get the cool little fastening furniture, like the 1925 Bang& Olufsen on your bolts and shit like that.
Yeah.
And
That's
however
nice.
many watts each speaker is and the impedance around it. And
I don't think it's that much cheaper, Sandeep.
I think the Titan is like 50 grand cheaper or so. But if I was already spending this sort of money, right, I would be very hard pressed to not go for this one.
I think this is the nicest one they have out of all those special edition ones. I like the black one because it's continuous throughout, right? Where
Yeah.
this it breaks up to this weird, chunky, aggressive grill versus these soft shapes of the fabric. But I still, this is by far my favorite looking one so far that they had come up with, other than my boring white ones here. Ooh, I like my boring white ones. I think the speaker is more or less meant to be displayed like that. What I think they should have done is painted that white. All that speaker chassis should have been painted white, in my opinion. I don't know if that would look goofy underneath the grills of all the rest of it, but I think at least the top should have been painted. So when you take the grills off, that continuity matches, right?
Yeah.
Around the wood. But that's a small critique for what it is. Then they would either have to paint the entire head or make it out of a white polymer or whatever
Which
the
is
heck they're
actually
using.
harder than you think for polymers.
Yes.
It's
Well, but
not
they've done
because
it with the Lab 14 subwoofer. That's a thick fucking polymer, bro. It's in
yeah,
there. The little umbrella stand.
but it always sort of like white, right? It almost sort of ends up cream or some variation of
Of
not
white.
actually white.
Yeah, but what white do you really want to go with? Like, go with hospital white or like,
Well,
that kills white.
this is not that sand color from the gold, right? This is the white that's more or less
Yeah.
on your speakers.
Yes.
Like where it's white. It's like, I don't know, hospital room white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're fabulous looking though, man. They're fabulous looking, I have to say.
I would buy this piece.
Yeah, how much would that be? Fucking insane money too. But yeah,
I don't know, but like this I would put on the wall somewhere.
who's looking African mask? Oh shit. Even that would look good if I put it on. Well, I would have to get the bottom lamellae, but I'm not customizing my speaker. I'll leave it as it is. I already customized it when I bought it. I think maybe at some point of time that's a big may, to rebuy the grills, because they're starting to get yellow. The glue's starting to get yellow around the edges, and there's no fixing that, unfortunately.
Just douse them in bleach.
I thought about it, but
if you go too far, it'll just be pink.
Oh, fuck me. That's way too far. That's too far. End up with those goofy, whatever the addition is, those transformer speakers or translucent, whatever.
Yeah. So all this wood is screwed together.
It has to be, dude. Like, there's so much pressure that what is it, 13-inch woofer kicks out. It's very neat.
I mean, they aren't joking when they're the masters of wood and aluminium.
No, they're not. They just know how to do it right. You should make an ashtray like that. Okay, so Avant's got 40% to be going.
So this is the jig.
That's the jig that they use it for?
Well, they put it down, and this is top side out, right? And then they mate it to that backstrapping that they use.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that they're all numbered, right? Which one goes where.
Yeah. Looks like there's 21 of them. 22. 21.
I mean, somebody had to figure this out post all the design.
How to put it together?
Yeah. And also put it together in such a way that it doesn't fucking fall off if you're a nutcase and watch Deepwater Horizon.
You mean it gets blown off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is sick how they do that. That is sick how they do that.
So yeah, they
to
made
bend all this shit, man. Jesus Christ, like that's a lot of work on that grill. That's a lot of work. Sanji, do we think that there may be another price drops, or it was the premier one-off? I honestly think so. Maybe they'll wake up, but I don't think that they can just now start backpedaling on pricing on everything. That's not going to happen.
Severely doubt that.
8s are selling. The Premier, I guess it wasn't as good because I think that they overshot. They overshot with the Premier in the beginning. It's too much. They asked way too much. But I don't think anything else is going to go down in price.
Yeah, I mean, last week's podcast had that title, right? Where, like, the question is, has this ever happened before? Because I honestly don't remember the MSRP
I've never seen it
dropping.
I've never seen it.
Look, if anything, what I think will happen, right, is we'll see more package deals where like buy X with this and you get 30% off or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we're going to say, let's say, see 50s coming down $5,000 or anything. If anything, I don't know, buy 50s with a BeoConnect core and you get like $5,000 off or something like that, right? Which makes
Or
no
they're
sense.
gonna bring back which I think they should bring back, the trade program for the fives. The fives should honestly be gone from the market at this point. They should pull them. They should start training them in, because the chassis are starting to get unbelievably expensive. They went up in price. I think they doubled, if not more. So
like
it's 5K
1,500.
US. No, it's 5K US per chassis now.
Yeah, I was going to say in euro, it was like 1,500 per chassis per speaker, right? And it's now $3,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it's 3,000 euros for single chassis. And quite honestly, from B&O, those coming in, they're a 50-50 shot. Like, you get one that works and the other one you have to send back again. That's our experience that we've been, and Brad's as well. That it's just not. Fix them or just get rid of them. But I think that B&O, if anything, they should bring back a trade program for Beolab 5s and 50s. You know, buy 50s, get 15 grand off on when you bring in your 5s.
I was having a chat with somebody in the comments, was it last week? And he was saying, like, for a lot of people that own 5 secondhand, that's still not enough, right? Because the price is so insane now, which I sort of understand.
What?
Like, I mean, a lot of people that got into 5s, let's say in the last 5 years, most likely got into them because they were so omnipresent secondhand.
Yes.
And like with the current price of 50s, right? Like, which is like what, 70 grand or something like that?
Yeah.
Like 15 off is still too much, right? Because it's probably still more than their car, which like you can argue about, but it's still a shit chunk of change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, $1,000 back in 2023 was not very much unheard of at the time, but yeah, now it's I think they're pushing it off the edge, and my suspicion and reasoning for that would be logically that they are struggling with rebuilding these boards based on the electronics that are now currently available versus what was available 3 years ago. They're quarter century old. At one point, they'll be quarter century old. How much stuff has changed in 25 years in tech, for fuck's sakes?
Yeah, see if you can buy some DDR2 memory anywhere.
They came out when we were talking on fucking flip phones, man. Literally.
Yeah.
On a GSM frequency. And now we're what? You got a folding LCD or OLED display in the phones now with computing power that would basically embarrass any small office combined with all their computing power from the back in the day. So like, it's just, obviously the silicone is different, and these boards are, man, you can only make so many, right? Like, you know, even if I was B&O, like, oh, we're gonna make 1 million of them because I want these speakers to go on for 50 years. Well, in 50 years, the sound, well, the physics of how sound works doesn't change, but the physics of how you get there and the science how you get to that physics, that's what changes. That's why it sounds so much better now.
If we even still have PowerLink at that time.
And that's another thing that it's not the like hack on Fives podcast, but son of a bitch, like they're the worst and most difficult to work with as far as the B&O speakers are concerned, to hook up into the third-party environment, because there's a lot of people that like their control fours and shit, and then you have to have, well, in our scenario, we have a Beosound core, right? That is just lined into the control 4 system, and that's it.
Yeah, and even if you go with Marantz or whatever else, 5s gives you the most issues.
Well, yeah, because you can't just put a 12 or 5 volt trigger on it, because they need fucking data. So, and or some people put them in a, in the infra on IR mode, but then you have to get the sync cable between them, and it's just it doesn't end, right? And I found that it's a little more gimmicky. Yeah, but I know they're doing repairs. Like I have a guy that also does it component repair, but it takes forever. And the problem is that like he now has issues trying to find these components.
I mean, to be
It's
fair,
not the skill level; it's the availability of stuff to put in.
Yeah, it's all the subparts.
Yes.
Andre is a very good repair guy, but I mean, he's also a one-man shop, right? So he can only do so much.
Yes.
In many ways, I think it's already quite commendable that these speakers are still repairable 10 years after going EOL.
Right. So, yeah, at some point there is, every train runs out of tracks at some point, man, and we are approaching. I don't think it's gonna be like the old spaghetti western when it's just gonna come off the fucking bridge and right into the ravine, but I think we're slowly gonna be running out of the track.
I mean, if you bought the Mark Ones, right, like that more or less means you've had 23 years of support and still have it, which is, I don't even think Bowers and Wilkins does this, right? And they're passives.
Yeah, I don't know of any company that keeps their service stock or parts for service for that long.
Yeah, the only other thing I can sort of think of is cars, but that's a whole different subject, right?
Yes. Like even my bronze shaver I've had for 10 years still works, but the power button broke off, right? So now it's just like the fucking regular square bullshit contact. It sucks, right? But it works. 100% it works. No problem. I just bought a new blade for $160 for it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to deal with it. And then I gold, bronze, whatever, right? Like, because they say that they serviced it, so they don't have parts for this anymore. And it's only a 10-year-old shaver. And they basically look the same, other than now it's pearl blasted finish versus polished chrome or nickel that I had back in the day. And they don't have the parts. So, that just goes to say. But you can't be mad at B&O for that. Yeah, it is walnut based on looking at that grain and stuff, man. That's definitely walnut.
Yeah. I don't know how to say your name, but I'll try it. Rutuk. About the quality of the products. He has 3 out of 4 have issues and stop working. He says, I have HX after half a year stopped working. Well, that's warranty, so you should get a straight new one. H95 arrived with scratches. That sounds like a reboxing thing. That might be an Amazon thing.
Mm-hmm.
Beosound 2 have scratches and stopped working after a few weeks. I don't know, maybe you're...
Where do you buy your shit, man? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
I think you said Amazon? Well, ratings on Amazon. So I'm kind of...
I'm confused. I don't know where, but there is no bloody dealer that you're walking out with this kind of stuff in service. I just can't fathom that. That just doesn't make sense.
Well, if you're in North America, right, it's hard to walk out of a dealer unless you live on either coast.
Yeah, but if you contact the dealer, they're not going to send you their fucking repack.
No. But Amazon might. Very well.
100%. They don't give a shit about you, ass. But yeah, if you're not buying from a dealer, there's no way, dude, that this dealer would send you something like that. And if they did, then those people shouldn't have a license to operate with B&O, period.
Yeah, this is kind of why I've always been against, even like I understand it more for like for North America, right? Because it's like there's nobody around. So but I don't like Amazon with B&O because it's Amazon is kind of aimed at like
consumer
ease and cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mix all that well with high end.
That's crazy, man. I would contact the dealer, Rutuk. I would contact the dealer if they, or not the dealer, the official site. I would contact them and say that you have damage on your Beosound too. I would do it right out of the gate. I would do it right out of the gate.
I mean,
There
that
are
they stop
times
working is
it's yeah, I would be on it. So
Sandeep says his BSM 2 needed a whole new circuit board that was only after a few years of minimal use. Yeah, but years is different than a few weeks and it stops functioning altogether. I mean, my BeoSound 1 or BeoSound 2 is the Mark 1 and it's still fine. I
think it's like that with B&O though. If it fails, it fails within first few week or a month, and when you fix it, then it's because it's replaced, then it's fine. But I have a hard time believing that there's something doesn't add up here, man.
I mean, we are not the channel that covers for them. I'm perfectly happy to say when they have issues, right? And there are definitely any of the portable stuff has more chance of issues, be it the headphones or whatever else, right? But I mean, of the other things like the Beolab 11, almost all of them had issues at some point.
Fucking right, dude. Mine, I don't think. I should have bought the flipping amplifier board when it was cheap, because now I'm sure I'm going to be paying like $500 for it because the B&O tax got real. But yeah, no, there are devices that they have, like notoriously Avant 55 was cooking its board alive because it's just the way that they fucking designed it without a fan. Beolab 11, every single one of them that I had sold and beyond had gone back for service to replace the amplifier board because it just and it's over. What was also like that? Playmakers were fucked up.
Yeah, to be fair, Sandeep says both my theaters and 50s have been rock solid. Not for me. This is why we're here, right? Because my 50s weren't initially. They are now.
Exactly. Yes. Same thing with my 90s. First ones, not too much, not so much. Beovision 14, complete disaster in the yesteryears of, remembering the time of it. It was a fucking complete disaster. Just to get it to my house was a complete disaster because every time it came in, it was broken glass. They just didn't know how to ship it properly because they changed the box and the way it was packed from the BV11 to the BV14. So, yeah, it's not a hit and miss, but there are products that do suffer way more than others.
Yeah, I just haven't heard of the Beosound 2 being one of those. Like,
no,
there's an occasional issue, but it's probably so hard to say what it is. Like maybe you have some surges or something, right? Like where other things in your house is not affected, but somehow it is. I mean, mine.
I'm just curious what's not working on it. If you could elaborate. Anyways, go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Beosound 2 survived here all my surges, and it's a Mark 1. So I don't know. We had a
well, I've had the Beosound 1 since the podcast started, which is now, 8 years at least? Because I rebuilt it. It used to be brass tone. I put it to piano black because it just looks better. And it's been in the storage locker for 2.5 years or 2 years at least, before I took it out in here in this apartment. And it works flawlessly other than fucking title now is the issue. But that's what it is. So I think that there are 3 different colors of these balls on that grill from what I can see. I think it's on the next one. It's going to be more detailed.
Yeah, I think this one is like 500 grand. I'm not sure if the wood one is.
Mm.
But again, like this is some work, right? Holy
shit.
Shit.
Yeah, buddy.
Like, this is definitely not for me, but I do appreciate the craftsmanship.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So there are, how many colors are there? Because it looks like they alternate in colors, silver and gold, I guess, or goldish.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to call these. It almost seems like it's heat treated into a different color.
Yeah, it's weird because there's also no logic to the pattern that's there. These, I don't know. They kind of remind me of, like, the when you have the doors in the cottage with the beads on them.
No, this looks like an early 2000s rap video.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, it's always these guys in the early 2000s. A lot of them were purple, and it's a lot of this, and it, like, you get this zoom, this pan through one of these rooms that sort of looks on all the walls and ceilings and floors like this.
Hmm. It is very interesting how they came across this. But yeah, it's weird how they. I wonder who designed the pattern, because it's all over the place. So, and that's a different take on that. With the center, all, I think it's the same material in the center, I guess.
Yeah. Mr. Jazo, does the Beosound A1 Gen 3 is better than second gen? Yes. Uh, yeah, the Gen 3 is better than the Gen 2, and the Gen 2 is better than the Beosound or the Gen 1.
Well, I think on the Gen 3, there's no more Alexa nonsense on it, right? Like, they've
Yeah.
taken out all that shit off of it. So that's A for the plus of it. And you can still pair Gen 2 with the Gen 3, but
I mean, the Gen 2 doesn't sound bad in any way, right? It sounds
no.
way better than the Gen 1. It's
Yes.
like it's not even close. It's just minor tweaks for the Gen 3. How much that matters to you is your choice. I can't tell you that. I mean, if you were to buy it new, I would buy a Gen 3.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I wonder if those balls, they must be screwed in. It's like fucking tack welded on the back of it. The spacing is insane, though.
Yeah.
Like, perfection. Yeah, I like that. I'm not a bead guy either, right? But
not these kind of beads anyway.
No, that's for sure. But I like the look of it. I'd still go for the walnut, even though the walnut looks very massive. Very massive. It almost reminds me of a tree stump. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's as thick as one.
So. Mm-hmm. So let's go to the next picture. So what material is that? Fuck.
Ed says some of my anxiety about buying 50s or 90s is service. What happens if you have issues and the nearest dealer is 1,500, 2,000 miles away? Within the first 3 or 5 years, I forget now, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah, the first 3 years, if they go, which they don't, it's very simple. You get a service suitcase and a guy to come out, and the service suitcase has everything in it other than the drivers.
Yeah. I mean, if they even go, right? Like,
live closer to a dealer. Sandeep, I can work it out for you.
If they even go, right? Like, they tend to go within the first 6 months or so.
Or they don't go at all.
Yeah. mean, or you
Look,
like,
I've had mine for 10 years now, over 10 years, because I got them in, March something. So, yeah, I've had mine. I should have made him a candle too. And what the fuck? Uh, the cake, like, who did that? Somebody did that on
oh, guy did.
a guy did it on the Discord. My dealer's 700 meters away. That's dangerous, KCVR. That's fucking no good. That's too close.
Yeah, I mean, back in the
Or
day when
700
I
miles,
was,
I guess. If you mean 700 miles, yeah, but 700 meters, that's you live in a block away.
I mean, my old dealer when I lived in Utrecht was like 3 kilometers away, which was already dangerous, right? I spent way too much time there.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that was sort of stopping me is that at some point they put in paid parking, which is sort of like, well, if I spend a lot of time here, I'm just paying a shit ton for parking.
Fuck.
I mean, my current closest dealer is 2 and a bit hours away, and that's Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
that's
4 hours basically if you go to Florida or Miami. Sorry.
Yeah, which is unpleasant. I don't like it. Somebody needs to open a dealership here. Like, this
Yeah, but
city is
that's
big enough for it.
I'm used to that also, like, even from doing this business in Alberta, that you have people that live far, man, or they buy a residence that is in Invermere, 3 hours or some shit away, and you just got to do what you got to do and go service it.
Mr. B. Santini, what do you mean? Where does it fit? Or fit in with Beolab 50s? If you mean like where can you store it, there's a cubby inside.
Yeah, there is inside.
Like the 50s are great that way. I have like a meter of extra cable spool just inside the speaker, just like wind it round, right? Like, so if I ever need to move it for dusting or whatever else, painting, right, I don't have to disconnect everything.
Yeah, just power and network, that's it.
Yeah. Or I can just like, even the network for most of them, right, I have some extra, so just lift, move, okay, do whatever you need to do, and you put it back.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what you're talking about. You've been only using your 90s for what, past 3 years or so? I've had my 90s since 2016. And they had a lot of use back in the old apartment in Calgary. That's where I actually fucking juiced the shit out of them. Here, they don't really have much use because the neighbors are fucked up in the head. So I can't really, get into that nonsense with them as far as the music is concerned. But yeah, if I wanna be an asshole neighbor, I can still do that here, but I just don't. But I use them every day. Here, it's a little less because I don't see a point in using them when I watch podcasts. Like I described this earlier in I think 2 or 3 episodes ago, that when people have microphones and they bang their, yeah, that is a fucking wine glass mover in with the 90s when you're watching podcasts. So it gets old. And lately, I just got to the point where I just got the grace, so the noise canceling is superior, and I'm still, it's still a new love, new girlfriend type of thing, right? So you're in it for a while, and I get home, I listen to that a lot more than I utilize the 90s. But no, like I've had 90s since not the day they came out, but my
2
first
months
pair was
later.
delivered. Yeah, my first pair was delivered on December 22nd, one day after my birthday. So 2015. So I've had them, like I bought them immediately when they came out. And then obviously there was a fault with the woofer or the amplifier for the woofer. And I said, you know what? These are way too expensive I love Brad, but he's not fucking flying in here to take my speakers apart and pull shit apart and fix them when they're not even a month old. You guys gonna authorize them back, and I'm going to wait for a brand new pair when it comes in. And back then there was, a lead time was about 3 months for another pair. And in between that wait, they came out with the customization. It was an atelier. It wasn't. It was not bespoke. It was just customization profile for the Beolab 90s. It was the first ones, I guess, you could do that with. And that's what I called Aaron. I said, "Listen, man, instead of the blackies, can I just get the white ones with the smoked oak? Because like these just look baller and they match everything that would match in my house. So these would work out better." And March 2016 is when these arrived, and I'm sure there's a post on it about that on Instagram from years ago. And yeah, like these have seen 90s volume on the 90s, bro. Like these have been pushed. These have been pushed fucking savage. So you stand corrected, Ed. I've had him for a long time. I've lived with him. I've lived with him essentially long enough that really it makes it hard for me to even bullshit people that their sound system sounds nice. It's different at Mikey's with the 450s, but if you get a guy that he's proud on his fucking old 8000s and a Beosound 3000, yeah, doesn't it sound great? Fucking sounds super good, man. But I just learned how to say it because at the end of the day, I go home to this level of sound quality, which, like I said, it's unsurpassable. In many ways, it's unsurpassable. I don't care what third party stack in Burmester, Bauer, and Wilkins, and I don't know what the fuck else you mix and match and Macintosh together. I don't think you'll ever get to the same level of what these put out just by simplicity of it all. And I don't know. I just love my 90s.
If you're looking at 50s, right? Because you said 50s or 90s, so I take it 50s are more likely. I've had mine since end of September or October 2017 because they came out like 2 days before my birthday in August, and I ordered them on my birthday, and my dealer had them 2 or 3 days before that, and I went back 2 or 3 times, and it's like, fuck, I need to have these. Yes, I've had some weird software issues because I don't think it was hardware really. But after that was sorted, right, I use both sets every day.
I know you do.
Like every day. Like, and I've used them in 2 different countries now with 2 different types of voltage and whatever else, and they're fine.
They're almost too fine.
Yeah. I don't look at this point, right? Like the 50s and 90s are so proven, unless something happens in shipping, which I like happened to mine in goddamn shipping, right? And mine survived the shipping. They even survived they survived the shipping on their fucking sides, which they weren't supposed to do. But they're fine. Like there's like it's so uneventful. Like literally nothing ever happens with them. And again, they've survived all the fucking surges and stuff here.
Yeah, and the same thing for me. I've never had so much dirty power put into the speakers than before I moved here.
Yeah.
Or after I moved to Montreal, because apparently Quebec is proud on their electricity production, but they can't keep it fucking lights on in their own province properly through the storms. But, I've seen power outages here a lot more frequent than I've seen more power outages here in 4 years than I've seen in Alberta living there for 23 years before I moved out here. I think in 23 years that because I moved to Alberta in 1998, October. And the only time that I had seen a power outage was downtown in 2013 during the mega floods where it was a shit show. It was an absolute shit show. But because all the infrastructure is buried, water got in and that was that. But I ain't seen power outages ever in Alberta. And then you come here and you get light dusting of snow and all of a sudden, poof, you sitting in the dark and cold. What the just happened? So that's that. But anyways, I wonder what these balls are made of. These material. What's the material? Like, is it steel, aluminum, or there's some sort of a burly thing, or like, because they're all different colors. Well, not all of them, but there's at least 2 different colors of them.
Yeah, they seem like they clip through the back, and that sort of these are all these rubber suspenders, right? This is a grid made, and then all these have these rubber holes, and you push them through, and you clip them like C clip kind of on the back.
Yeah.
That's because you can sort of see where the C clip,
the groove is. Yeah.
This is, by the way, B&O, this is crazy, right? Like, when you can zoom in this much, like, what's the point of the quote unquote high resolution photos? Because these are the low resolution ones.
You can see perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, these are the low resolution pictures of their website. But like, I can almost see an atom, right? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the high resolution going to show me?
More focus, bro. But yeah, I do like it. Who's the poor bastard that's got to put this together on there?
I wonder if they if somebody sets this and you have to copy it, or if the guy doing or girl doing this just randomly picks whatever off the board, right?
I don't think it's random. I think it's the way that it's prescribed by whoever is a pattern maker on that. 100%.
Because they sort of have a pattern in this board already. Oh, it even says top. So whoever sets the pattern sets it in here then.
Interessante. I wonder how many balls are there.
God, so many.
Would you go with that, or would you better prefer a Mercedes grill on the 90s for the you know what I mean?
Mercedes grill.
I think I would do the same. I think I would go for the Mercedes grills.
This shape, to get that into metal where it stays.
Jesus Christ,
so
man.
hard.
Maybe they just have a die that just presses it into that shape.
Yeah, but you have spring back, right? Like, you need to get to a point where like you actually end up with the shape you need, not the shape you sort of.
Well, they probably go over a little bit, but the
Yeah.
angles, they have to. And maybe it's there's some sort of a heating that is involved in it, so it eases that aluminum to more be pliable.
But you're bending it on 3 axes essentially.
Yeah, and you can't have it stretch.
No.
Yeah, that looks fucking cool. I kind of like the white lamellae on the bottom, the panels.
Yes.
That would look even sweeter. That would look sweet.
Yeah, I kind of wished like just this white, right, was a standard color you could order with your white 90s, or like if the black where like, I don't want wood, I just want the black to match the black ones, and I've murdered out 90s.
Yeah,
I think Guy actually did that with his.
Yeah, he's got black bottoms.
Yeah.
Is that it? Or is there more?
Well, let's see. Where are we?
There's a couple of them in the environment. I don't know. It reminds me of a rattle toy. A little bit. With a little jigga jigga. You know what I mean? Dude, to
Yeah,
clean the dust off these balls would suck, man.
you get your leaf blower out and just.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, you'll always have, like, if you have those diffusers and shit, like, there's oils and stuff in the air, right? That'll sit on it that you have to eventually polish them.
Yeah,
That would suck.
but that's what you have staff for, right?
I guess, yeah. But I don't know if I would. I guess you can trust somebody, like, I guess I would get hired to do that for some rich guy. I have no idea if they're made by Dutch artists, but I'm sure it's going to be somebody in Denmark, yeah, that's doing this. Maybe
Yeah,
it's that guy in the coat.
I think the regular sails are made in the Netherlands, from memory.
Poland.
No,
does
not
all
the
their
material,
fabric.
right? The way it's stretched on. Like, I think they get the material from Poland, and then the frames from Denmark, and somebody in the Netherlands puts it together that you have the.
Oh, okay. I thought they were assembled in Poland. Maybe they were back in a day, from what I've heard. Maybe that's something that's changed now.
Because apparently it's only one or two dudes in the world can do this shit properly, or to the extent that B&O thinks it should be done.
Accepts it, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I do like that they have the spacing figured out, because mine is not as even as theirs when it comes to the fronts. Like, there's more black on the top of the 90 than it's on the bottom of the 90 where the grills meet. But I don't know if that's something you can see.
Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Yeah, I think the Dutch guy made these, and like he said, the was it the Samurai edition? Because this is woven metal.
Yes.
I mean, this is this pink
stupid
blue disaster is still. I don't know. Maybe it works in Miami or something, but this is for like a house where you have like white marble floors and then also white marble walls, and I don't know. You probably have
somewhere where you go rollerblading
on your glass table in the living room or something that your kids can take some off.
Don't like them. I don't like them at all. That's the only pair that it's going to date itself immediately. It's going to look out of place no matter where you put it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a very silly color. Very, very silly color.
I mean, these are fantastic. The
titanium ones are awesome. But I'm still more of a fan of the wood, because these look like they're needing some grills on top, right? Or the covers, which they don't have.
Yeah.
But those are my favorite. The walnut edition, man, that is absolutely bonkers how good they look.
I think I still probably, if I were to actually put something in my house, right, I would put these in my house. The black ones.
I would go with those. I would go with the walnut. They would just look perfect, and I have the Nelson bench. We'd had the same width of those slats. Like, it just, everything would work out so nice in here.
I mean, currently it's all daydreaming, right? Because the fuck we're ever going to own these.
No, there's no way. And, I have the 90s. They're not going to sound any different than the other ones. So.
But this is, I don't know, this is almost like a lady in stockings, right? It's sort of, it is revealing, but only in certain ways with the light, and it is kind of still enclosed, so there's something sexy about it.
No, I agree. I like them both, but I like the walnut. I'm a sucker for walnut, so that is an automatic winner in any category. The beads, I'm not a fan of. It looks cool. It really does look cool, but that's not my cup of tea at all.
No.
Not my cup of tea at all. The black ones I would maybe go with, but then that kind of dictates that you got to get an anthracite theater, right? Just to kind of match that presence. But I would go with the walnut.
But like you saw earlier, would you keep the top on or off?
On. On occasion, I would take it off, I guess. But the problem with the top crowns is, where the fuck do you store that? Like, I understand that this is for the house that is 17,000 square feet, so you don't give a shit. But that's the only thing that I have an issue with. That they're very hard to store without, you know, incurring or risking damage.
Yeah, they should almost get you like a sort of a pad or a seat or something with it, right? Where you can just put it in something where, like, yes, it's not fully covered, but the bottom is sitting on something where you don't mess up the fabric.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean, we've seen it in stores, right, where they take them off often, and like literally this bottom
it's fucking
is all
ripped.
mangled.
It's ripped and chafed through. Yeah, it's not fun.
Wait, you're not going to have a crown storing room?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck.
You pleb.
I need a crown storing room.
I guess you need to buy the Titans because they don't come with any crowns.
They just have those nice 1925. I'm gonna get me another cup of coffee. This is ridiculous. Yeah.
No, I do like a good naked 90. It's a good look.
They look swell, but I still, now that I see those what's it called, the walnut guys, that's the ticket. That's the ticket for me, man.
I mean, then again, at the end of the day, if somebody really just wants to give you these blue ones, would you really be annoyed with them?
I wouldn't take them. I'm sorry, I wouldn't take them. And if I did, then I'd be out a few grand because I would do swapping the crowns, swapping the centers. I'd turn them black or something. Honestly, I have the black. That overnight, they're going black. If I was given these overnight, they're going black. And I frisbee toss these fucking panels out the balcony, man. I wouldn't even care. That's not a color for me at all. Like, that color would infuriate me every day. I would look at them. I would just get more mad. Because they don't, like, what do you put them with, man? What kind of a psychedelic room I would have to fucking design up, right? Just to put them in there so they sort of kind of make sense. So
Henrik's friend DJ Martin Jensen has 490s.
Yeah.
He has 90s as rears.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
It's like properly insane.
I mean, if having seen his living room, right, in his, I think his current place or whatever it is, like, it works in there. And if I had that sort of money, sure, I would.
You're in a house now, so you couldn't care less. But yeah, I think you still would care a little bit, because the 90s, 2 pairs of 90s collies, man, 2 pairs of 50s, they give the concrete a good shake too. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not sure my house could take it forever.
You're resealing the windows every fucking spring. The Christmas movies.
Oh, it's probably first the ceiling that's going to let go.
You think?
Yeah, I would need that. That spray foam insulation, right? Just because it glues to everything and holds.
Oh yeah, no,
together.
it's solid. It solidifies everything. That's the worst.
Yeah, but in this case, if you have the 490s in my living room, you kind of need that. Because otherwise, like, all the joints of all the drywall in the ceiling are going to crack over time.
Going.
Like the whole ceiling does that at a certain point.
Oh yeah. No, the 90s, they can push. Even your 50s can push, from what we've seen together.
I mean, if I ever come across a set of very cheap 90s, which I doubt, I would consider having a set up front. I don't think in my current living room it really fits to have 490s. Like they're just too massive at the rear.
Yeah, they'd be too big. What would you do with the other 50s? Sell them or trade them in?
At that point, sell them, yeah, or trade them in, or whichever, right? Like I'm not gonna do 90s, 50s, 50s. Like, God,
And fucking 3 pairs of 17s up top. And a set of 18s now that you moved there on the wall.
yeah. Oh yeah, I
That's a
still need
little.
to take pictures of that. I'll do that for next week.
That's a little excessive in that point.
It's I mean, it's already excessive as it is, right? Like, but 90s are one of these Halo products where it's sort of like, okay, but 90s plus 50s is the way. Yeah, I understand. But at current prices, I don't have that kind of swing. I don't
don't
know
think I
about.
would go with 6 big speakers like that. I would go with, if I were to expand on this, I would get another set of 50s maybe for the rear.
Quite honestly, right? If I were to go like full on mental, I would get another set of 50s and do that sort of old Beolab 5 setup of back in the day, right?
With the 103 and a Beolab
Yeah,
10
I
in the
would get
middle.
like keep the theater and have a 97-inch OLED and do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really, I mean, I don't really think for the money, right? Compared to a third set of 50s, 90s can add all that much.
It's already quite a bit with the 2 pairs.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe because there's not many dealerships that even have that setup, right? Because it's a lot of money to have sit on the floor to have 2 pairs of 50s
Yeah.
in a fucking surround, just like, come here and listen type of thing.
I
So it's
mean,
very hard to imagine. For me, it was also hard to imagine, but once you listen to it, like it's so close to the 90s with, just the bass response, and they're already clean as a whistle as they are, right?
yeah.
But 4 definitely that they envelop you more versus my 18s, what they can do with the theater and the 90s at the front. Don't get me wrong, it's still not bad, but I also find that this apartment is the worst sounding one that I've owned or lived in or worked at as far as the sound is, because for some reason everything peaks in the office and more or less in my fucking neighbors, where that was the advantage that I had in the old Calgary place, where I had this space, and then there was another room there was room straddling each side of the speakers, so there was an extra buffer
Yeah.
before. Well, one was the outside wall, couldn't give a shit less about, but the other one was inside wall through another office, where my office used to be. So there was a lot more buffer. Where this is a 2-hour firewall, and you have 8,200 watts sitting fucking 3 meters off it, and that's just one. So yeah, this kind of sucks. So, but then again, you never know till you set it up and you juice them, and then you're like, oh shit, now I know what to look for. So obviously, so I'm gonna be way more selective, well, as much as the circumstances will allow in Florida once I start getting into the places there to see what I can find. But it definitely will need to be a concrete structure, no matter what.
Almost everything is.
Yeah, I'm still living in this place where an environment where concrete is more or less not an option, but it's an upgrade, I guess. It's not a necessity by code.
Yeah. Well, you have storms here that kind of require it, right?
Yeah. So
I mean, yeah. I would love some 90s, but they're not needed.
I don't think so. In your space, like you have already is that you can go balls out hard with your stuff, no matter what.
I've never ever gone to volume 80, even when sitting outside, because it's so loud.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's so loud. to the point where, like, if you walk inside, it becomes painful. And I mean, I also have 3 cats, right? And I mean, they don't care that much, but like, I don't want to literally deafen them.
Yeah, but they're not stupid. They outside when it's too loud. I
Yeah.
noticed. Yeah, they don't fuck around and like this is whatever he's doing there. I'm not part of it, and they go do their own thing.
I mean, it's already to the point where, oh God, what is that song? Michael Jackson Earth song, right?
Mhm.
When that starts, there's a bunch of birds and stuff in the beginning. Like the
That's
cats
nice.
will run inside because they hear birds. And they can't tell it's fake. It's too real.
That's hilarious. At least you don't have fabric grills on the 50, so they can't really jump at it and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a insurance policy, I guess.
Oh
I mean, but
boy.
also like I could almost see the argument for 490s more than adding 90s with 50s, because they're to a degree, right? Like where Henrik always said this, like you're much better off having the same speaker everywhere. And I
Yes.
do very much feel that is correct. I mean, you can live with variations thereof. It's not as transformative, but when you get to the realm of like 50s or 90s, like 50s sound quite a bit different than 90s do.
Hmm.
But having them front and back, right, there is just no shift in tone at all.
No.
I mean,
That's
when
why I
you
like the 18s in the back, because they complement the 90s very well. They're airy, but they're not overpowering, right? They
yeah,
can't be. But
I mean, I think when you have 50s and 90s, you do get a lot more violence, right? Like because with 90, I've listened to in several places with 90s front, 50s rear,
yeah,
and like holy shit, there's a lot of violence in the room. But it's not as unified, so to say.
or harmonized, I guess you could
Yeah.
call it, or whatever. Yeah,
I mean, granted, I've never listened to 90s front and 90s rear. I can only imagine what that sounds like. Like, I mean, my dealer has a 90s front and 50s rear, but it's kind of in too small a space to get the like proper experience for that.
hmm
Because you need some air. Like it
you
really
need some
needs.
air, and like I thought about it because if I were to, let's say, do a listening session event, right, and bring both my set of 90s into the shop, I wouldn't want to risk the damage that would come with it, right? Because people are stupid.
Yeah.
But I think still that would be way too small of a space to have 2 pairs of 90s juicing. So it needs a large room. Like if you have like minimum of what your size is, I think would be the prerequisite for the space.
I already think my living room is too small to add another set of 50s if I was nuts enough to do it. Like it would
No, for
physically
me, I'm
fit,
thinking
right?
like
But
if you deleted the kitchen per se, right? Like that amount of area. Like if you
yeah.
had all that, I think would be sufficient enough to have 2 pairs of 90s in there. But I think as it is right now, it'd be way too crowded.
I mean,
And it's a fridge, dude, almost. Very beautiful looking, but it's a fridge that sits in the corner of your room times 4.
yeah.
It's a lot of presents. Like these, I don't walk around there, but every time you go in and like you mop around these things, it's just like it's a hefty lady,
Yeah.
you know, and she don't move. She don't move one bit. You snag the crowns a little bit in the wrong way, bro, and you're bleeding. Fuck, my girlfriend is here, and she bought yesterday. I went to Nespresso. She bought flavored fucking coffee, dude. At least she forgot to do it today. But I think that I'm just gonna hide the capsules and send her home with it because she's got that machine at home. because I find that if you run a flavored coffee, then it fucks up like next 3 capsules worth of taste
Yeah, it
because it
sticks
runs
in
that
the little
it
spout a little
sticks
bit.
in the calice, man. I don't like it. I run empty fucking spent capsules through it just to get it proper.
I mean, I guess you can just put no capsule in it and put a bunch of water through.
Does it run without the water? Because I got the one with the barcode reader, not the dumb one, right?
Surely you can flush it.
I'm gonna have to try. Should buy a flush capsule. But yeah. So that's I don't know. I like the conclusion for this podcast, I guess, would be that I approve of the walnut 90s. The pearl ones, the purple stuff that should have never been even. I don't understand. I still think it's somebody that is from the era of those ETFs or EFTs or whatever the heck it was, because that's what it reminds me of. Those like that's like the total ETF or whatever, or ETA. I don't know. NFT. Fuck, that's what it is. It's a total NFT wannabe look. That is.
Have they ever accepted you in the B&O Discord?
No, I've deleted it. I just gave up. So BNO Discord, I think it's completely dead as a doornail. Like there's nobody even, or they've lost whoever got fired that took the login with them, and no more for anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
there's way more traffic on ours than they will ever have. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just went to it and somebody said, "Hey, everyone," and I think it's Bill Lumberg that said, "Hey, the server is dead. Come to the other server." Like that is literally the last message that is in that server since December 29th. There's 3 messages.
Of last year.
Yeah, so these were these were what, almost a month ago.
No, their stuff is dead. There is no. Our Discord is definitely pushing further in every aspect of it, and also it's way more resourceful than even the BNO's own support pages. And you get your answers quick, and you get them valid because there's a lot of people that do know what they're talking about on the Discord, which I appreciate. And that's the way to go.
Eric
Lienberg.
Yeah, I was just like, is that Kielenberg or Lilienberg? Looking at the financials of B&O, and it seems stagnant, maybe even going slightly down. They seem only earning money on high end. How can B&O maintain sustainable, and which segment? Well, B&O is not a company that swims in its own self-made waters, right? Like the whole luxury segment of the whole world market is going down, some faster than others.
Yes.
I guess B&O is sort of, I don't know if you were to say it, like slowly sliding whilst others take huge hits at times.
Mm-hmm.
Was it LVMH that took like a 12% hit or something like that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is Louis Vuitton and all the fancy stuff, right? The current rockets flying also don't help because shipping anything is ridiculously expensive out of nowhere because fuel is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Sustainability is a hard to answer because you can answer that in so many ways, right? Do the products needs to be sustainable, or the company, or like what do you mean by that necessarily?
But I think them trimming off the fat, like the Ferrari sponsorship and all that nonsense, it's that saves them a lot of money.
Former CEO, holy
or
shit!
The CEO, he bled out B&O pretty good with how much money he took for how very little he's done with it. Unless you consider bringing a company down a few notches a good job, then he did a good job in it. and pricing itself out of the market, essentially, in some places.
I mean, I don't say this to be mean, right? But like upper management seems to be in this headspace where their pay is just worth the ROI, regardless of what's happening.
Hmm.
And then they have a critical look at the people below them that actually make the stuff, right? And then they go, "Ooh, that you're too expensive for it." And it's like, wait, how? Why don't you apply this look at yourself? Like, I don't understand how this a company like B&O, right, who isn't exactly going up or staying level. It's like it's ever so slightly doing that. How their pay is not ever so slightly doing that.
No, it's more
Yeah,
the other way for some reason.
and therefore also their total percentage of their take-home pay, right, becomes bigger compared to the company's income. Uh, it seems a bit strange to me if it's, but this is as an outsider. Like maybe we also have more love for the company than the people that work there. I bet you a bunch of people see it as a job or as a career, right?
Hmm.
I don't think the people that actually make the company work, they see it much more as a passion. I mean, look at the people from B&O that are on our Discord, right?
Hmm.
Like they have no need to be there if it was just a job, but they're just passionate about the brand.
Indeed.
And
And they help. They help other people.
well, even the stuff Christian just does on his own time, right? He made some home assistant.
He's a great contributor. Yeah, for Home Assistant, he's a great contributor for sure. I
I mean,
give him
even
that.
little things, right? Like when you change listening positions, that you get a little update on your screen what you change it to,
Hmm.
which is like, wow, fuck yeah.
See, and that's where I guess that could answer also your signal information thing, right? If you could just have that pop up on your.
Probably, yeah.
So
I mean, I do think they still, for how much they sell, right? They have potentially too many people. I don't like saying that because that means uh, layoffs. But they're like what 900 people or so. I have a feeling they still have way too many meetings about meetings to have a meeting about a meeting.
hmm.
I wish we would streamline that a bit more towards the engineers, designers, and the bean counters, and not so much the managers that just need to manage, right? Because
Hmm.
if it's the same problem you get to with politicians, right? If you as a politician are seen to be doing nothing, your job is not relevant. So therefore, you do have some people that are busy to be busy for busyness sake,
Hmm.
and it's sort of like, do we need that? Like, really?
That's very true. But I hope that B&O trims off the fat that they need to trim off still, and keep the prices where they are, because you can't really go backwards on this now. It's too late.
If anything, right, where the prices are where they are, I would say this is a very good opportunity to introduce some new things that are
Yes.
potentially cheaper to make, just due to the process of refinement, right?
Hmm.
For a more affordable price, but where your share of profit is higher on.
Yeah.
I mean, the current thing that I'm quite annoyed with is it's not so much that they dropped the price on the Premiere, right? It's that they sent all the fucking units out for review at the old price.
Yes.
Like, and the Forbes of the world and the What Hi-Fis and so they don't go back into their written article
Yeah,
and
and
change
correct the
that.
price. Yeah.
Well, even if they do, right? Like your conclusion becomes something very different if you even looked at price to performance somewhere.
Well, quite honestly, if you've seen or read that review, you're not going to revisit that review just because they dropped it by $1,000. Like, you've already read it and you already formed your opinion, and you already saw the price and formed your opinion about it too.
Yeah.
Unless you're on the mailing list of B&O, where you get these deals per se, and you know, I don't know. I still like the Premiere, but I think this is going to be, if I'm gonna buy it, and it's more likely gonna be in Florida. But if that happens, I think it will be my first product that is not silver. I think I'm gonna go for the black anthracite
Yeah.
with either the Atelier walnut, because I would like to get the walnut, because if I'm gonna put it in the bedroom, it's gonna do that. Or if I'm gonna go full tonto and just go bespoke, then I might just do the same thing like I'm gonna do with the Halo, when I will order the polished Premiere with a walnut grill that matches the whole furniture inside the bedroom. And I'll
Yeah, that
probably put
makes
a
sense.
48-inch panel on it so it kind of looks, the way it should.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna go with it, or another scenario is, which is absolutely ridiculous, but I upgrade this to 77 and I move a 65-inch panel into the bedroom, which is fucking obnoxious.
I have that. It's all right.
Yeah, but you sit further, like 55 already, I find is but the 65, that's a lot of wall, man. That's a lot of wall.
Yeah.
And then the Premiere just would look puny, right, to it.
Yeah. Yeah. In
So
terms of sustainability, right? I've been complaining about this for a while now, where like and this is what they did with things like these 90s, right? Like and 90s in general, but 50s too as well, but to a lesser extent, where the sole focus was on the very high net worth individual.
10
And
years
I
later,
think
pardon.
said since the beginning, right? Maybe not in the same words, but I would have preferred a hybrid version of that approach. Like I don't have a problem with B&O chasing the very high net worth individual, but I
Mm-hmm.
do have a problem getting a product that's 10 years old and just jacking up the price so that it seems more expensive. Like I've said since day one, right? Like, please just make something new that you charge something exorbitantly for, even if it's 500,000. I don't really care, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it starts at 500,000 and then you do some price rises, okay, I was never going to buy it anyway. But when this was firmly in reach,
$80,000 when it first started US, right? 10 years ago. And now we're talking half a melon. That's a lot of increase.
yeah, that's. I mean, granted, they're special editions, but you're still at like 210,000 USD or something for the basic
Mm-hmm.
version. Like,
Yes.
come on, just make your Beolab 100, right, or something to that effect. Tell Jeff to go wild. Like
Well,
we're
I
just
think
gonna.
they're having a hard time going wilder than these, because these are hard to top. Let's just be realistic, Mikey. Like, these are hard fucking speakers to top.
Yeah,
Unless you go harder on size, or you go harder on power, which I'm certain there is a very tight correlation that these are teetering on. How much, well, the cabinets can definitely take more than the drivers that are inside them, right? Because it's a cast aluminum structure, so that's not gonna creak, bend, or deform in any way. But how much more can you put inside? Like, how much more extrusion can you get out of these drivers? But then, does that sacrifice the precision and accuracy? Because now the stroke is this much bigger versus what it used to be, right? So there's more time that this fucking driver spends in travel from A to B. So I don't know. Like, I just don't know where do you top it. But I think that they would have to start with a completely different new shape of the speaker.
Oh yeah, but that's
And
where I was gonna go, right? If you want to go wild, you can go the avant-garde style where you separate out the bass and everything else. Where like you let's say have something the size of a 90, but all it has is like three 13-inch drivers and three 10-inch drivers, and then you have like this thing next to it for your mid and highs.
yeah, but I think that goes against the B&Os just having one of the core ICs, I guess. I don't think that's a
Sure,
simplicity.
but we're
But
talking
then again, yeah,
for the
if we're
ridiculous
talking
market, right? This is going to be 500,000 or more.
that's basically like design an audiophile system. That's it.
Yeah. I think in the US they're 210 grand. In Europe they're like 165 euro.
The cost price you're gonna have to keep wondering, because I can't divulge that unless you can talk to your dealers and see. But I think they're going to tell you the same thing. Go pound sand for that.
I mean, you can sort of work it out.
Yeah,
but there's a shit ton of labor in these. Like, just as you saw going through all the pictures with this, right? Like,
no,
even
these
the
I can
regular
justifiably, yeah, there's justifiably a lot of labor going into it. And I think the most simple to make were those purple guys, because they just, you know, anodized whatever, and that's it. It's just the fabrics that are somewhat kind of special.
This is just a bit
bullshit.
Yeah, this looks to be metal of some sort.
I think it's just aluminium, and they just machined it a little bit, so then, you know, you got these ripples. Ooh. The metal ones or the blackies are definitely going to be way more labor intensive than the titanium ones, I think. Titanium one is just a lot of CNC machining on those bezels.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But I think the most labor intensive are those balls, beads, whatever the fuck they are. Because to put all that together, man, that's a lot of balls.
Though it's all C-clips,
a lot of balls.
Right? But this is all like metal woven.
But that's machine woven, dude. There's no way somebody sits there with a fucking needle and a thread going through with the wire. You know what I mean? This is woven, and then they just cut it to a shape and wrap around and attach it, or maybe just they clamp it together so it doesn't get loose over time. I think that there's a lot that goes on in the grills of the black ones, as far as the trimming that the fabric that goes into whatever clamping system that they had to design for. Because even the X's are different, right? Where they meet, it's a completely different animal.
I do like that though. It's
the continuity of it, yeah, it definitely does. And then I like the walnut ones the most, and also the fact that it looks like, you know, the icon of sound propagation. Maybe a Wi-Fi a little bit, right? Because they look like Wi-Fi from the sides. But they would look sick in my house.
I mean, Wi-Fi, it's still a frequency, so it's still like sound-based.
So, yeah.
It's just a frequency you can't hear.
Thank God, because I would have like 13 or 14 different musics going on in my head, just living in the apartment. Oh, God.
Maybe you catch the wrong signature with your ear, and all of a sudden you're updating, right?
That's it. I brick myself, for God's sake.
Well, that happens, but not for the same reason.
No, that's definitely it. So, yeah.
I guess on that note, if you have the
money, go dream some more. Yeah, let's go dream some more.
Go order some, and maybe inquire about some pricing and stuff, because I mean, they are nice, except for that one.
Yeah. No, the purple should have gone. That should have never been introduced. Whoever pushed that through has an amazing skill, in my opinion, to push bullshit and pull wool over people's eyes. Oh, this will look amazing. Because that is the worst looking Lab 90 I had ever come across in my existence, seen it. And I'm sure that a lot of people agree. Unless you have that purple hair or whatever, you know, when you put your rainbow on your hair, then you probably are the one that would like that speaker, because it kind of goes with that whole vibe. But those people usually don't make enough money to afford their,
you kind of like going like, I hope it's not a phase. I hope it's not a phase.
It's terrible.
Anyway, on that note, I hope everybody has a very good week. We'll see you all next week. Have fun, stay safe, don't deafen yourself, but enjoy some music, and see you all next
time. For watching. Bye.